that book is going to be We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. So yeah, let's talk about it. I'd say the best way to go into this book is to not know anything about it, like literally nothing. Like that's how I went into it. I knew it was a contemporary and I knew it was about 4 teenagers, and that's all I knew. And I like that I went into it like that, because usually I'm a bit of a, I try to figure out information, I try to figure out all about the series and stuff, but I kept hearing like, don't go into this knowing anything, don't go into this knowing anything. I'm going to suggest the same thing to you, is to go into this book without knowing anything. So basically, if you haven't read this book, I will read you the back, and that is all I'm going to tell you about it pretty much. The back says, "We are Sinclairs. No one is needy. No one is wrong. We live, at least in the summertime, on a private island off the coast of Massachusetts." I always say that wrong, apologize. "Perhaps that is all you need to know, except that some of us are liars." And that's all that's on the back, and that's all I'm going to tell you. Now, before I delve into the spoiler section of this book, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts. I will say I liked this book. It was not a disappointment for me at all. I just say I didn't insanely love it. I think this is the type of book that is going to stick with you after you're done, no matter if you liked it or if you hated it or you loved it. No matter what, I think it's going to stick with you. You're going to think about it the next day, the next day, and the next day. I started this book literally last night around 5 o'clock, and I finished it around 10, I will say. I read it off and on because this book is fairly small. It's like 212 pages, so I was like, I really want to read this book through in one day, because I knew I could and I wanted to push myself to do it, and I did. And so I finished it last night, and I've literally have not stopped thinking about it since I finished it. Like it's weird. It's crazy. So this book will stick with you. Trust me on that. Now, also with that, the writing style, I really liked the writing style. It was very different. It had you guessing, and I really liked it. And I also will say about this book is I think this could be a phenomenal movie, honestly. You know, sometimes when you read books and after you're done, you're like, wow, this could be a great movie. This could be a great movie. I'm not going to tell you what type of movie it would be, because that would be spoiling it, but I'll tell you later on if you've already read it. But yeah, so overall, if you have not read it, I'd say it is worth a read. Like I said, I didn't love it, but I liked it. But it's going to stick with me forever, and I know that. I can just tell with that. So if you haven't read it, I'd say read it. I mean, it's only 212 pages. You can do that. Rating, I think I would give it a 3.5, maybe 4 stars. I'm on the fence about it. Like, I'm on the fence. Like, I liked it. I didn't love it. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to give it a 4-star. So I think I'm comfortable with a 3.5 range. All for the non-spoilers. So if you have not read this book, please do not watch any further. Please, you know, do not read the comments in this video. I don't want to spoil you on it, because if you read this book spoiled, it's just going to ruin it for you, honestly. I'm just being real. So if you haven't read it, goodbye. But if you have read it, let's stick around and talk about it. At the beginning of the book, we have these really cool, which I do love, the actual book jacket, because you get this cool thing that you probably can't see. And then you get this nice little bokeh effect. You also get this little map of the island that they're on, and then the next page you get the family tree, which, as you can see, I had a tab, because at the beginning of this book, there were so many characters. I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Wait, you're this daughter, you're this son. Ugh. At the beginning of this book, you're greeted with the character, oh crap, what's her name? Cadence. And you can tell Cadence immediately is not a reliable person. Like it's almost like if you read the book Mara Dyer, where you really have to think about reading it, if that makes any sense. Like when I read Mara Dyer, I'm like, is this real or is this not real? Like, what is this in her head, you know? And that's the same way with this book, honestly. So with Cadence, the whole time I was like, I don't know, like she was so, not wishy-washy, but crazy, I guess. I couldn't tell. The first thing that hinted to me for Cadence not being like a reliable or like a uneasy person was on page 5. That's right, page 5. Because she's talking about her dad and how he leaves, and then she says her dad gets in the car, and then he pulled out a handgun and shot me in the chest. I was standing on the lawn and I fell. The bullet hole opened wide and my heart rolled out of my rib cage and down into a flower bed. Blood gushed rhythmically from my open wound, then from my eyes, then from my ears, then from my mouth. And then she talks about how her and her mom, after that, go pack up and stuff like that. And I had to read that like literally 5 times. I was like, what the crap? Like, did that really happen, or is this like metaphorically? And it was metaphorically. If that's the right term, I hope that is. I apologize if it's not. It's metaphorically. Throughout the whole book, Cadence is saying stuff like, it feels like a knife being stabbed in her chest and she can't breathe. It feels like a truck's being rolled over her head, and it happens every day. And you're just like, holy crap, like, who are you, freaking Cadence? Who are you? And throughout this whole book, you're questioning that. Then you meet the other liars, who are Gat, I think that's how you say his name, Johnny, and Mirren? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And you just learn that they're from this really, really rich family. It goes to this island every summer where all the cousins and the aunts get together, and you really learn how this family is very greedy and wealthy, and it's all about inheritance, because after the grandma dies, the aunts start fighting and all this stuff. So when I started this book, I couldn't put it down for the sheer mystery of it. Like, I was like, I have to read the end of this tonight because I need to know what happens. Now, I will say, I did kind of guess the ending, which I'm surprised because a lot of times I don't do that. Now, when I first started it, I was like, somebody's dead. I didn't know who was dead, but I was like, somebody's dead. I know it. I know this already. And I didn't know that they were dead the whole time. I didn't know, like, you know, that stuff. I just figured that someone was dead. I would have never guessed that all three of them were dead. Never guessed it. And then after you finish reading it, you think, how could I miss that? How could I have missed that they were dead the whole time? Like, how did I miss that? And it's just, it's mind-boggling. I think E. Lockhart did amazing with the mystery of this book because I did not guess. I guessed someone was dead. Didn't guess all three of them were dead. Would have never guessed the characters. I did not connect with any of the characters. I think maybe this author maybe had that written. Maybe she wanted to keep it short and sweet and mystery filled and just left you with bam. I didn't connect with any of the characters, so I'm gonna be honest, when I figured out they were dead, I wasn't like, oh, that's sad. I was like, what the crap, honestly. But I think I was more sad about the dogs dying, if I'm being 100% honest, because I'm just a really big dog lover, and when I heard that the dogs died, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I almost started to cry because I have a dog and she is literally my first child. But, oh, anyway, I'm getting off topic. So like I said, I couldn't really connect with any of the characters. They were all just very aloof, no, just kind of distant, you know? It's like this whole book is about Cadence, but even after finishing this book, I feel like I know nothing about Cadence other than that her and her whole cousins have to keep everything bottled up inside, you know? Don't show your true feelings, don't cry, suck it up, like, be strong, suffer in silence. You know, that should be the motto of the Sinclair family, is suffer in silence. You know, don't show your real self. And it's just, yeah. Ugh. I think when I read the ending, I think everyone probably has to like reread the last 10 pages, because I'm gonna be honest, and forgive me for my language, the first thing I said after finishing this book was, what the hell did I just read? That is literally the first thing I said. And I don't know. One of the things I like about this book is the shortness of it, the abrupt ending, the feeling that made you, the ending in the book that made you feel like you questioned everything in your life. I liked that because I don't read a lot of mystery type of books, and I don't know why. I mean, that's just not my genre, but I did love the mystery aspect of this. And like I said, this would be a great movie, I think. It's short and sweet, and I think it's one of those mystery movies that are gonna leave people like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? Because that's exactly what I thought when I finished it. I was like, how did I not see it? The emails, the no direct conversation on the 17th summer, like between the aunts and the kids, like they never showed up to dinner, all that kind of stuff. And with Mira being sick, I thought that she was just gonna die, honestly. I was like, that must be what happens. She just dies, or maybe she's pregnant, or maybe something like that. Never would have guessed the fire. Would have never guessed they're all three dead the whole time, and they were just, you know, in her conscience trying to help her remember. And yeah, like, I will say, this is a book that's going to stick with me for a while, so props to you, E. Lockhart. I thought the writing was amazing. The mystery was really good. I'm going to stick by my 3.5. So I definitely say I'm glad I read this, honestly. The mystery was awesome, and yeah, I would love to see this be a movie. I really would, because I think it'd be a cool movie, and I would love to go with my friends that have not read the book and just watch them and be like, Let's see if they guess it. Let's see if they know what happens. Let's see if they know the mystery of the liars. Which, why are they called the liars? They don't really lie. They just like keep everything bottled up and like pretend to be happy all the time. I don't know. Anyway, if you have read this book, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Let me know. And that is all for me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.